Joshua, I think it looks like you're trending towards being the backup center. What does that entail, and can you even think of yourself as the backup because you have to be ready to go?
I think it's just about every day you're going out there and executing, just playing as hard as you can, going out there and just showing great effort.
And then watching what happened last year, how does that, when you guys had 9 different starting lineups or whatever, how does that factor into your mind through all of this as well?
It's just going after, I mean, every single week you got to prepare like you're the starter, go out there and just show effort and discipline and show you can be out there.
What do you like about center?
What'd you say?
What do you like about playing center?
I like, the way you can control the line, make sure everyone's on the same page, ID in the front, making sure the calls are right, just putting everyone on the same page.
How do you think you're doing with that?
I feel like I'm great. I feel like I've definitely improved from the past 2 years. I feel like I'm comfortable. I can ID the fronts. I feel like I've seen every single front, so just like it's all about comfortability, just being in the right spot.
Has Carson given you any advice throughout this fall camp that stuck with you?
You said what?
Has Carson given you advice throughout this fall camp?
Yeah, I feel like me and him both just piggyback off each other. We see something, we'll definitely like tell each other, hey, I think I see this, and he'll be like, hey, I think I see that, and it goes back and forth like stuff like that.
Apologize if you've asked this already, but Seth McLaughlin obviously was here last year. He spoke very highly of you at the combine. Mm-hmm. What did you learn from a player like that who had kind of been through the ringer a little bit, and what kind of things can you take away from somebody like that?
Yeah, I feel like someone like Seth, he's played so much ball, so just picking his mind and seeing he's seen everything, like every single front, every single blitz, and like just being able to pick someone like that's mine, it's great, and you can learn so much from it.
In terms of, is that like an on-field thing, or is that an in the film room thing, study habits, or?
It's both. I mean, it's definitely in the film room, and then if you could translate that in the film room onto the field, I feel like that's what makes you elite.
Josh, you've gone through the freshman stuff now. You're a veteran player at this point, even though you haven't really started that many games. What have you thought about some of these freshmen that have come in, whether it's Jake or Javon? I assume you've gotten some reps next to him at least as well.
Yeah, I feel like this freshman class is definitely a good one. I feel like Jake has definitely taken that next step. He's definitely coming along really good. So is Carter. Carter's coming really good. And then so is Javon. Javon's definitely taking that next step.
What's the hardest part about adjusting as a freshman offensive lineman in college? I mean, obviously, you're not going up against high schoolers, you're going up against first-round picks, but what is the biggest adjustment, do you think, for a freshman?
Yeah, I'd say, like, for me, being from Ohio, we don't have spring ball.
Yeah.
So, just, like, coming in as an early enrollee, you really have never played, like, football in the spring. Mm-hmm. So that's another, like, big factor. Like, the offensive linemen who haven't played in the spring, I feel like it's a big shocking moment, and you, like, have to learn real quick or you're going to fall behind.
How big of a deal is it, you think, for the guys who come from states where they do have spring ball? Is that an advantage going into college in any way?
I mean, it could go both ways. I mean, I feel like as a lineman, if I had spring ball, I mean, I feel like I could probably develop a little quicker. But I mean, there's some cases where people from Ohio like develop just like that. So it can go either way. It just all depends about the player.
Center's your primary position, but have you done any rotation along the line throughout the fall camp?
Yeah, center's my primary position, and my secondary is obviously guard. I played guard a couple of times, so.
How are you liking that transition? What do you think that you have to work on most within that transition from center to guard?
Just my footwork, just making sure I'm not stopping the ball, so I got to be good with my hands and my feet, just being on the right things.
Josh, you came in here of Austin. How have you seen Austin grow from when he got in here to where he is now?
Yeah, oh yeah. First my freshman year being with Austin, I feel like Austin was just like a quiet, like a guy who like stayed in his own lane, did his things, did everything right. Till now, Austin's a great leader. He's making sure everything's right, putting guys in check, and going out there balling, playing every single position on the O-line that our coach asked for.
For him to be able to make that transition from guard last year, now he might be the left tackle. What have you seen from him in his game that's allowed him to do that?
Yeah, it just shows that like he's one of those guys that we can lean on, and he's just a dog in general, like one of those guys that we can count on.
Josh, what has it been like? What have you seen from this defensive tackle group?
Oh my! I feel like our defensive tackle group is definitely trending. Kane McDonald is definitely one of those guys that's going to be really good this year, and we can rely on. I feel like he's definitely been one of those guys hard to block, and same with Will. Will has taken great strides compared to last year. I feel like he's a whole different player, and he's playing really good.
Tegra mentioned that when one group comes in, another group comes. When one group comes out, another group comes in, but each group brings a different style.
Yeah.
What is that like to go against when so many of those guys are so
Yeah, I feel like it just helps you as an offensive line because you're seeing two different type of players. Because I feel like Will Smith and K-Mac are just two different players, and they play the same position, but they're two different styles, if you know what I mean. And it's just good to see that as an offensive lineman because it's just good. It's just good seeing stuff like that because every single week you're facing someone new, so like you can adapt quickly.
What makes Caden and Will different from each other?
I feel like K-Mac's one of the more of those like straight up like he's gonna bull rush you, and I feel like Will is just like slippery. I feel like he's really slippery and really good with his hands, really good with his feet. But so is K-Mac. K-Mac is really good. He's working his feet. K-Mac's feet this year compared to last year is a whole different person. And I think his conditioning level has improved a lot. K-Mac is one of those guys who he can go out there like 40 to 50 snaps.
You mentioned, Austin, how impressive he is playing many different positions as he has in the last year. Is there a different level of appreciation that you guys have on the offensive line for how difficult that is to do? To move left to right, inside, outside?
100%. I feel like my respect for Austin goes. It's so great. It's so great. Just playing like right guard, left guard, and then this year he started out at right tackle, and now he's at left tackle. He's just one of those guys where he's just a dog. Like the definition of a dog is that right there.
It's obviously like different footwork and different keys and things like that when you have to do that. But when did you first kind of get the sense that Austin could be could be one of those linemen that could do he could play left tackle, he could play right guard, he could play right tackle, he could play left guard. When did you get that idea?
I felt like last year I feel like during fall camp he made great strides during fall camp when Donnie was out.
Sure.
And then when Donnie was out, he stepped in and just took off, and that's when his game really took off, and then he improved throughout the whole season.
See the way last year went. How does that inspire you to know that depending on what happens over the course of the season, your time could come at any time, and you got to be ready?
Yeah, I feel like just like every single week you got to prepare like you're the starter, and you go out there and show great effort and great discipline, be violent.
And how physically different are you?
What'd you say?
When you got here, how physically different are you?
Like weight-wise?
Yeah, everything. Strength, mobility.
I feel like when I got here, I was around like 280, 285, and now I'm at 300. And I think, like when I first got here, my bench and squat was super low, but now like I've made like great strides into that. I've like improved my bench press by like 2.5 times. So I feel like coach, like my bench.
When you came in, what was your bench? What is it now?
I think when I first came in, when I was benching like 225 for like 7, and now I like got it up to 20. So like it just shows that Coach Mick is one of those guys that has improved, and just not me, but the whole entire offensive line.
How have you seen Carson step up into a leadership role this offseason?
Yeah, I feel like Carson, he's definitely like he's had a bigger voice this year than the past because we've had like Donnie, Josh Fryer, like some of those guys, and Carson has definitely taken that next step.
We always know offensive linemen need to be versatile, right? That you need to be able to play different positions. But it just feels like the way you guys are talking about it with a primary position and secondary position is just maybe a little different than the past. Is there more specific focus on that versatility, or making sure you get specific reps at a second position? I'm just trying to figure out if anything's different.
I mean, you're always gonna work on your primary, but like if you're secondary, if something ever happens like it did last year, then you're obviously gonna be ready. So.
Do you think this is a result of you guys having to live through it last year, that it's even locked in more for you guys of needing to be versatile?
Yeah, 100%. I think that just like making sure everyone is always ready to play any position is definitely something you need as an offensive line nowadays.
Okay.
I don't know if it was mentioned here. Austin Sierreveld said if he needed to play center, he could do it tomorrow. Do you think that's a lack of disrespect from Austin towards the position?
He's definitely tried, and I was like, Austin, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And he was like, oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yep, okay.